Imagine you just, you hover your mouse over a pair of running shoes.
Right.
And in the literal fraction of a second before you even click, the entire website it rewrites its own code.
Just instantly.
Instantly. It changes the marketing copy, it completely redesigns its visual layout, and it does it specifically for you.
Yeah, it's wild.
Welcome to the future of retail, everybody. Today, we're doing a custom deep dive into this incredibly comprehensive 2026 report on the deployment of retail artificial intelligence.
This is a massive shift.
It really is. And for you listening, whether you're, a tech enthusiast, a marketing pro, or just someone wondering why your online shopping suddenly feels like it's reading your mind, the mission today is to unpack all of this.
Right.
We're going to look at how the entire shopping pipeline, from the glass on your phone to the physical warehouse packing your box, is completely rewiring itself.
Because what's fascinating here is that we're really moving past those basic demographic buckets.
Right, like the old, oh, this person is a 30-something urbanite thing.
Exactly, yeah. The legacy methodology where a system flags you as that urbanite and just, serves up 5 static generic products, that is completely obsolete now.
Thank goodness.
Right. What this source material details is this full-stack transition into live, session-based environments. The digital architecture and the physical logistics, they're now changing dynamically.
Okay, let's unpack this from the beginning. I want to start right at the digital storefront, what the user actually touches first.
The digital interface.
Yeah. The report is honestly pretty brutal about traditional static web layouts. It basically says they are actively failing to hit modern conversion targets.
They are.
And the replacement is something called generative UI. But I'm trying to wrap my head around the speed here, because we aren't just talking about standard A/B testing where you swap a banner ad, are we?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, standard A/B testing is a historical analysis, right? You look at what happened yesterday.
Right.
Generative UI is predictive modeling, and it's executing natively at the exact moment of page execution.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when a consumer lands on a site, the model isn't just pulling a pre-designed template off some server.
It's building it.
Exactly. It analyzes your active click stream, so things like your cursor hover duration, your scroll velocity, even micro-hesitations.
Wait, micro-hesitations?
Yeah, if you pause your mouse over an image for half a second longer than average, it registers that. Then it combines that real-time behavior with historical purchase records and inferred intent to literally generate the visual layout on the fly.
So, okay, if I've been hesitating on an item's price for 10 seconds, the model actually writes new native copy offering me a discount right then and there.
It constructs the entire environment to optimize for your immediate intent, just for your session.
That's like having a magical personal shopper.
It really is.
Like, you walk into a store, and while you blink, they rearrange all the shelves and rewrite the signs just for you.
And people want this. The McKinsey data in the report shows that 76% of consumers actually grow frustrated now when digital experiences don't adapt to their needs like this.
Really? 76%?
Yeah. And the ROI for companies doing it is massive. Deploying real-time tailored layouts lifts purchase frequency by 35%.
Whoa.
And it pushes average order values up by 21%.
That's huge. But so what does this all mean for the traditional web designer? Because that completely shatters the old framework, right?
It does. It's a fundamental shift. Web designers used to build these static digital buildings, fixed destinations where a user walks in and just navigates the aisles you built.
Right, like a printed mail order catalog on a screen.
Exactly. But now it's not about making things look pretty in a fixed way. It's about fluid, behavioral-driven architecture. The interface isn't a destination anymore. It's a real-time response to consumer intent.
Okay, but this raises a huge question for me. If the generative UI relies on consumer intent to build itself, how do brands figure out what we want before we even arrive on the site?
That is the perfect question.
Like, how do they know I'm looking for running shoes before I click? The report points to this massive pivot in how companies basically listen to the internet.
Yeah.
And it essentially declares legacy text-based ingestion pipelines completely dead.
Completely dead. Because relying on text has become a massive blind spot for brands.
Also.
Well, think about it. Video content now makes up 82% of all internet traffic.
82%?
Wow. Yeah. And consumers spend over 60% of their digital time on streaming video. So if your company's ingestion pipeline is just scraping text keywords or, tracking Boolean search logic on Twitter,
You're missing the party.
you're missing the vast majority of digital culture. You have a massive visibility gap.
I look at it like trying to understand a visually stunning movie by only reading the subtitle.
That's a great analogy.
Right, you miss the cinematography, the setting, the actual emotion, you miss the whole plot.
Which is exactly why the transition to multimodal social listening platforms is accelerating so fast right now.
Multimodal, okay.
Yeah, the market for these systems is hitting $2.83 billion just this fiscal year.
Good grief. So what do these multimodal platforms actually do differently?
They ingest unstructured video streams. So instead of looking for text tags, they use advanced computer vision to spot corporate logos, track product usage patterns, and analyze spoken sentiment across unlinked networks like TikTok or Instagram.
Wait, hold on. Here's where I have to push back.
Sure.
Ingesting millions of hours of random unstructured video? That sounds incredibly chaotic.
It sounds like noise, right?
Yeah. Like, how does the model differentiate between, say, a teenager scuffing up a brand's shoes while skateboarding versus a highly produced, pristine product review? Because the context completely changes the value of that data.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the synthesis capability of modern AI is what solves that. The goal isn't just to track a brand name like a dumb keyword.
Okay.
It understands context. It knows the difference between a scuffed shoe on a half pipe and an unboxing video in a studio. It translates that visual in the wild usage into direct supply chain action.
Okay, wait, supply chain action. Because tracking a skateboarder is cool for marketing, but how does that move physical boxes?
It's all about lead time. Say a specific vintage jacket starts trending visually in user-generated videos.
Oh, okay.
The multimodal AI catches that visual trend early before people even start typing it into search engines. Supply chain teams see this momentum and instantly reroute physical inventory to regional warehouses.
Oh, I see.
So by the time that sudden online demand spike hits the text-based search engines, the product is already sitting locally, ready for next-day delivery.
That is wild.
And it works. 76% of media analysts report a verifiable ROI with these visual platforms, compared to under 60% for the old text databases.
Okay, but put yourself in the shoes of a marketing director. You see that vintage jacket trending on video. You need to launch a localized ad campaign, like yesterday.
Exactly. Speed is everything.
But human focus groups take weeks to organize. You can't just rent out a room with a two-way mirror and wait around while the internet moves on. So how are they testing these campaigns at the speed of an internet trend?
By simulating the customers themselves.
Okay, now we're getting into the sci-fi stuff.
It really feels like it. The report details this huge shift towards synthetic user simulations to replace human focus groups.
Virtual personas.
Right. They are built on large language models, LLMs, that perfectly mirror the target consumers. They use demographic data, psychometric profiles, historical behavior.
It's like building a matrix simulation for shopping behavior.
That's exactly what it is. The engineers drop these virtual agents into digital sandbox environments. Then they run thousands of automated interviews, content stress tests, and UX reviews, all simultaneously.
So they just blast the campaign at 1,000 AI bots to see what breaks.
Yeah, and they use dynamic model switching engines too.
What does that mean?
It means depending on the specific task, like if they need to test emotional resonance versus testing a checkout button, the system instantly swaps to the best base architecture for that specific job to save computing power.
Okay, but I have a major issue with this.
Let's hear it.
If you are only testing your AI-generated ad campaigns on an AI-generated synthetic cohort, aren't you just creating a massive echo chamber?
That is a very valid concern.
Like, isn't the AI just telling the AI exactly what it wants to hear?
Yes, and that phenomenon is called model drift. If you leave these bots isolated, they will absolutely drift away from reality. But this is exactly why the engineering mechanism here is so clever.
How do they fix it?
Continuous data injection.
Okay.
Developers are constantly streaming fresh interview data from real human control groups directly into the synthetic baseline.
Oh, so they anchor the bots back to messy reality.
Precisely. You blend human unpredictability with machine scale.
Yeah.
It keeps the synthetic population tied to active market realities.
So a product manager can isolate workflow friction and find out an ad is annoying in, like, an hour without ever deploying bad code to a live server.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got generative UIs rebuilding sites in milliseconds. We've got multimodal AI watching video trends. We've got synthetic focus groups in the matrix.
That's a lot of digital intelligence.
It is. But ultimately, this is retail. At the end of the day, a physical product has to end up in your hands. How is all this digital intelligence actually bleeding into the physical spaces, like the warehouse?
Through edge computing and physical AI. McKinsey projects the physical automation market will exceed $370 billion by 2040.
370 billion.
Yeah, driven heavily by labor optimization and logistical efficiency. We're talking about computer vision models trained on physical interactions and spatial layouts to orchestrate real-world actions.
Like registerless checkout in storefronts?
Right, and real-time shelf tracking. But in the warehouses, it's even more advanced. You have robotic arms that learn to pick and pack oddly shaped boxes.
But how do they learn without crushing 1,000 real boxes first?
They run millions of trial runs in software sandboxes before they ever touch real goods. But here's the catch. When that robot is actually on the floor, latency is a huge problem.
Because it's waiting for a server to tell it what to do.
Exactly. If the robot has to send a video feed to a centralized cloud server and wait for a response to stop gripping, the box is already crushed. Right. This is why edge computing is essential. Processing chips are installed directly on the factory floor or in the store.
So they process the sensor feeds locally?
Yes, which cuts the latency to near zero. It creates an immediate physical response.
It's like having a highly empowered local store manager on the floor.
I like that.
You know? Like, you don't call the CEO at global headquarters in the cloud every time a customer drops a jar of pickles.
No, you handle it locally.
The local manager makes the instant decision.
This raises an important question about privacy, too.
Oh, how so?
Well, not sending raw video to the cloud isn't just about speed. It's a massive reduction in corporate data vulnerability. Think about cameras tracking checkout behaviors in a real store.
Oh, yeah. Sending raw, unencrypted video of customers over the internet seems like a terrible idea.
It's a massive liability. So with edge computing, the local node processes the video, extracts just the metadata like customer picked up item A, and only sends that tiny data point back. The raw video never leaves the store.
That makes total sense. Okay, but here is my final hurdle.
Okay.
We have generative UIs, multimodal listening, synthetic cohorts, and now physical edge robots packing boxes.
Right.
If none of these systems can talk to each other, or if they can't talk to a company's old legacy CRM database from 2015, the whole operation just collapses, right? How do you integrate all these autonomous operations?
That is the big integration challenge, and the solution detailed in the report is the Model Context Protocol, or MCP.
MCP.
Yes, it establishes an open communication standard, basically a universal connection layer between core AI models and external data tools, like those legacy databases or old catalogs.
I look at MCP as the USB-C cable of enterprise AI.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
Right, because before USB-C, you had a drawer full of proprietary chargers, and it was a nightmare. So MCP is the universal plug that makes it all work together, meaning software teams don't have to write custom integration code for every single backend tool.
Exactly. And the way it operates is really smart. The models deploy these modular instruction packages called skills.
Skills, okay?
Yeah, for discrete workflows, like checking warehouse stock or modifying a customer's loyalty tier.
But wait, doesn't it cost a fortune in computing tokens to load up the company's entire policy handbook every time the model needs to do something?
It would, which is why MCP doesn't do that. Instead of loading every policy at session launch, the system only dynamically fetches and loads specific operational folders when the workflow demands it.
Oh, so it just grabs what it needs in that exact millisecond.
Exactly. It drastically lowers latency and spiraling token costs.
Now, the report mentions the standard is governed by the Linux Foundation via the Agentic AI Foundation.
Yes.
Why is it so important that an independent group governs this rather than just one of the big tech giants?
Because standardizing through an open, collaborative framework prevents vendor lock-in.
Ah, okay.
If one company owns the universal plug, they can choke off access or raise prices. An open framework guarantees that as this infrastructure scales up, all these various autonomous components will always be able to talk to each other long-term.
That is so critical. Okay, let's run through a quick recap of this whole journey because it is mind-bending.
Let's do it.
We move from generative UIs literally shaping your screen in real time based on micro hesitations,
Right.
to multi-modal AI watching video trends in the wild, then synthetic customers testing the localized campaigns before they even launch.
Down to the physical edge robots packing the boxes on the warehouse floor.
And finally, MCP acting as that universal USB-C cable, tying it all seamlessly together.
It's an incredible ecosystem.
So for you listening, the next time an app seems to intuitively know exactly how to display a product you literally just saw in a streaming video 10 minutes ago, you are imagining things. You are experiencing this exact AI pipeline in action.
And I'll leave everyone with a final thought to mull over regarding this.
Please do.
With generative UIs adapting instantly to our desires, and these synthetic LLM cohorts testing our emotional reactions before we even have them,
Yeah.
are our purchasing decisions truly our own anymore? Or are we simply following the path of least friction laid out by a predictive model?
Wow. Okay, that is definitely going to stick in my head the next time I instinctively hit add to cart. Thank you all for joining us on this custom deep dive into the 2026 retail AI landscape. Keep exploring, and as always, stay insanely curious.